Hi, it's good to be with you once again. I'm sorry we're back online, but hopefully we'll see you soon. Today, as you will know, is Remembrance Day, a day when we stop and remember and give thanks for the lives of all who have served this country in our armed forces, to help to bring peace and stability to our world and to protect our freedoms. It all began back in 1918, when on the 11th of November at 11 o'clock, the guns on the Western Front fell silent, and the war that had been going on for 4 long and awful years came to an end. And every year since that time, on the 11th day of the 11th month at the 11th hour, the country has fallen silent to remember and to commit ourselves to continue to work for peace. And so we're not just remembering those who died back in the First World War. We remember and give thanks for all who serve in our armed forces, even today, many of whom who are serving overseas, working as peacekeepers. And we wear our poppies. We wear our poppies to show that we care. We wear our poppy to show that we are proud of those who help and serve us. We wear our poppy to think of others in need. We wear our poppy to remember all people who suffer because of war. We wear a poppy to reflect upon how peace is important. And we wear a poppy recognizing that peace begins with you and with me. Peace is so important, and it's something that we all can work towards and help to bring about. So I thought I'd tell you a story today. It's a story that comes from the Middle East and could be described as a kind of parable, a bit like the stories that Jesus may have told. And it's a story about a rich man who lived in a desert. We could tell he was rich because of what he owned. And he owned camels. He didn't own just 1 camel or 2 camels or 4 camels or 8 camels. He didn't even own 16 camels. He owned 17 camels. That's a lot of camels. He had led a peaceful and a prosperous life. And so when he was very old and near to death, he wrote his will. And he explained how he intended to leave his wealth to his only son, his grandson, and his 1 nephew. The terms of the will were these: 1/2 of his riches would go to his son, 1/3 would go to his grandchild, and 1/9 of his wealth would go to his nephew. I hope you're good at maths. It all seemed very fair. Soon after the will was written, the rich man died. Now there came a problem, for when it came to dividing up the camels according to the will, the 3 beneficiaries ran into a massive problem. You see, if the son was to get half the camels, well, half of 17 is 8.5 camels. 8.5 camels. So that meant 1 camel would have to be killed. And that wasn't a good idea. When it came to the grandson, he was to get a third of the camels. Well, a third of 17 is 5 2/3. So that's another camel that has to die. Doesn't seem right to me. And then when it came to the nephew, well, the nephew was to get 1/9. Well, that's 1 8/9 of a camel. So another camel would have to die in order for it all to be divided evenly. Well, you can see the problem. The three of them became very frustrated because they did not want to kill any camels, and especially they didn't want to kill 3 camels. The son, the grandson, and the nephew became very angry with each other. They shouted, they quarreled, they argued, and they threatened to go to war over these camels. They began stockpiling their weapons and plotting battle campaigns. Nearby, there lived a very poor man. You could tell he was poor because he only had 1 camel. But although he was so poor and seemed to have no influence at all, he still felt that he should do something to help the son, the grandson, and the nephew to come to an agreement. He decided that he didn't want war to break out, but he wanted to be a peacemaker. But how could he do it? He thought about it, and he thought that the only thing he could do was to give his 1 camel to the rich man's inheritance, and that would help sort out the problem. It was a huge sacrifice for him, but it meant that the inheritance now consisted of 18 camels. So the 3 sat down and did the sums. Half would go to so there were 18 camels. Half would go to the first son. So half of 18 is 9. 9 camels. Not one needed to go. A third of 18 is 6. Brilliant. No camels needed to die. And a 9th of 18 is 2. 2 camels. No camel needed to die. And if we add up 9 plus 6 plus 2, that makes 17. 17 camels. So there's 1 camel left over. Brilliant. The poor man received his camel back. He had made peace by his willingness to give up what little he had to make a difference. And no one lost out in the end. Wow, that's an amazing story. And I hope you followed the maths there as well. But I wonder how you can be peacemakers today. We don't have camels. I'm sure you don't have a camel at home. But how can you be a peacemaker? Maybe you could be a peacemaker in the playground. If your friends are starting to fall out with one another, maybe you could try and mediate and work out what the problem is and see if you can solve it. We all can be peacemakers. We just need to think about it and think about what we can do to stop a situation getting out of control. So Remembrance Day isn't just about remembering those who've died in wars, which is really important. It's about committing each of ourselves to work to bring about peace in our world. So as we think and we remember and we commit to being about peace, we're going to listen to the last post and then have some silence. The last post is the traditional piece of music, bugle playing, that we have that introduces the last post. And it begins with these words that have been said every year since 1918. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. May we plant seeds of peace wherever our journey takes us. May we bless others as we have been blessed. May we speak no words that would wound. May we withhold nothing that can be shared. And may we pray always for peace. Amen. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Take care. Bye.